Hey, it's Deborah Bosher.
Yes.
I'm here with Lori Kennedy, and we are talking about my new book, Art Quilt Collage. Lori is an expert free motion quilting quilter artist, and we are going to be looking at the stitching chapter of my book. So I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to look at some images from the book. So here we are in the stitching chapter, which includes lots of information about free motion quilting and also hand stitching. But Lori, tell me what you picked up on in this chapter.
Well, Deborah, first of all, I'd like to say I'm really excited to be able to talk to you about this wonderful book. You've done such a great job on it. And it's there's so many different topics in here that I could look at. I love the chapter on stitching, but there's a lot in here for about composition and other topics that I also enjoy. From a stitching point of view, I just love that you combine both hand and machine quilting, and you have quilting for feed dogs up, feed dogs down, but my specialty and my favorite, of course, is always to lower those feed dogs and just go to town with quilting. So, and drawing and making the line that way. I like to do whole cloth quilts primarily. I'm a little intimidated by the art quilts, but you really broken it down into those steps that make it much more easy to conceptualize from beginning to end. And so I'm really inspired to try some of your techniques. I'm excited about that.
I love hearing that. Thank you so much. And I know most of the people who read your blog and maybe most of your students are doing piece quilts or somewhat traditional quilts. But I love the idea that there's still a lot of crossover.
Absolutely, there is. And some of the compositional styles that you've offered, I offered compositional styles in my first Craftsy video, but you added some that I hadn't considered, like the dancing grid and the magic 3. So I'm looking forward to trying those.
Excellent.
From a thread perspective, one thing that really caught my eye is that you really have, once you're at that phase and you're adding line to your quilts, you really want a little bit of a heavier line. And so I would just suggest to some of the people that are trying our quilts for the first time to not be afraid to lower those feed dogs and just do simple lines. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that imperfect line has sort of a hand-drawn look, and it's very appealing.
Absolutely. For me, that hand-drawn, personal, true element from the artist is such an important part. And that to me comes from cutting the fabric, to adding the paint, to the hand stitches, and to the free motion quilted line for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. It just adds that it's more personal, and I think quilts have to be personal in order really to be interesting long term.
I think so too, and to make the process interesting.
Exactly.
The making of it.
One thing I thought that some people might want some tips on is thread choices and needle choices. And I don't know what your favorites are, but one thing I'd say is that be experimental with your threads as well. You offer some paint choices, all kinds of paint choices, but with thread, there's a lot. It's like thread is our palette.
It's true.
Use different threads, and probably most people doing an art quilt in the lines that you are using should be a little bit of heavier threads, so you want those lower numbers, 40 weight, 30 weight, 28 weight.
Sure.
Even 12 weight can be used in the machine with a top stitch. I would definitely use a top stitch 90 or 100 needle. What size needle do you use?
I do love that top stitch needle. And I also like combining different weights of thread so that you get different weights of line. There's so many ways to go.
Yeah.
Now, Lori, we talked about a possible challenge.
Yes, let's do it. So my challenge to you, Deborah, I'm going to send you 3 things. One is going to be one of my tutorials. I offer weekly tutorials, and there's step-by-step of each of the motifs.
Yes.
So I'll send you one of those. So it has sort of incomplete patterns on that, but it also has the complete pattern. And some other thread or something. I'm going to find a couple things I want to send you and see what you do with that.
I love it. And I will send you 3 things.
I'm always up for a challenge.
Maybe something unusual that you might not normally work with, like maybe some transparent fabrics like tulle or organza.
Never done
Maybe some vintage linens or some upcycled clothing. So you never know what you might get.
Okay, so a little surprise package. I like that.
Yes. So all of your readers, Lori's going to be giving away a copy of the book, so check down below to figure out how you can win a chance to win a copy of the book. Also, there'll be a list of all the other bloggers and quilters that are included in the blog hop, and also down below will be some further information about how you can see what we did with this challenge for each other. So thanks so much, Lori. I sure appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you, Deborah, and congratulations on your new book. It's really beautiful.
Thank you so much.